So Fallout's known for a lot of things, vaults probably being one of the most interesting, creepy, and weird places in the game.
Gary!
They're also the safest places in the wasteland. Who doesn't want to live in a snuggly little vault that is actually being used as one big experiment to conduct inhumane acts on the people living inside of them without any of their knowledge?
In this video, I'm going to explore Vault 112 from Fallout 3.
This is a vault that most of you are probably familiar with, as it's a vault that was supposed to be seen, supposed to be explored. Being a part of the main quest line, they made this one of the most interesting vaults in not only Fallout 3, but in the entire franchise. As we enter the vault, nothing seems to be that out of the ordinary. That is until you meet RoboBrain, who assumes you're a resident of the vault that is running a little bit behind. And by a little bit, 202.3 years. He asks you to get naked in front of him and then throw on the Vault 112 jumpsuit so that you can enter into these virtual reality pods. These pods are where all of the residents of the vault are. There's nothing else or anyone else of interest inside of these vaults other than the robots. Before you enter a pod of your own, if you look around at the other residents inside, it looks as if they're just staring at this screen of some weird neighborhood. Honestly, I would be lying if I didn't say this is one, if not the most comfortable chair I've ever been in. I feel like I could sit here and watch all 7 or 8 Harry Potter movies like back to back. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't know how these people are watching this. It is playing the same 5 things over and over again. Like, I don't get how these people don't just get up and get out of these seats and just like walk around and do something else. Maybe like play Jenga or something. Well, the problem is they can't. And for us to figure out why and a bit more about what's going on in the simulation, we're gonna have to get in it ourselves. So as we climb into our pod, the lid slowly closes, the screen comes up, and we're met with a flash of bright white light taking us straight into Tranquility lanes. At first glance, this seems like a utopia. It is beautiful, it's sunny, there's smiling people, happy, goofy music playing, and it's basically what you would expect it to look like before the war happened. There's these beautiful houses, picket fences, cars. You got little Timmy over here with his lemonade stand. And it just seems so much better than what's out there in the wasteland. So my first instinct when I got here was to talk to the townspeople. I just wanted to know what they thought about this place that they're living in. And upon further inspection, none of them actually know that the place that they're living in isn't real and that it's all fake. If you try to tell them that this is some virtual reality, they all think you're crazy, except for Betty and Miss Dithers. We'll talk about old lady Dithers in a minute, but right now I want to talk about Betty. Betty is a little girl that lives in this town, and she is just so happy for you to be here. The whole reason that you're in this town in the first place, not to spoil the main mission of a game that's like 20 years old at this point, almost, is to find your dad. And the only way to find your dad is to play a game with Betty. And that game is her favorite game of tormenting the people that live in this town, starting with little Timmy. And honestly, it's not that bad. It's kind of screwed up, but she just wants you to make him cry. There's like 2 ways that you can go about doing this. You can either pass a speech check, which is telling him that his parents are getting a divorce, which I failed. So the other option is to basically just beat his ass. And you only have to punch him like 3 or 4 times for him to start crying. But, you know, I did it like 20 or whatever, but who's counting? So once you go back to Betty, you get to ask her one question. But something that's more interesting than that question is that she starts talking like a 60-year-old German man. Well, the whole reason that she starts talking like this is because she's not actually a little girl. She's Dr. Braun, who is the overseer of Vault 112. But to touch back on Miss Dithers, this is when it splits into 2 different roads of how you can solve and get out of this vault. You can either follow the directions that Miss Dithers gives you, who is aware that Betty is actually Dr. Braun, She tells you about a hidden terminal that is inside the abandoned house. And if you go to the abandoned house, you'll see like these inanimate objects over here, like this picture and this radio, and then like this gnome over here, and then like over here there's a Nuka-Cola bottle. But if you hit these in a certain order, then a terminal will pop up right in front of you, like right in front of me over there, and then like boom, you can, access the terminal. Once you access the terminal and you read some of the notes of Dr. Bronze, you actually find out that Tranquility Lanes isn't the first place that this simulation started. It actually started on a beach, and then the Swiss Alps, and then Tranquility Lane. The entire reason they ended up in Tranquility Lane was because Dr. Braun got tired of being in these other locations. He got bored. The only other way other than going along with his game is to end the simulation with a failsafe, which is to summon a Chinese invasion. If you go with Betty's option, which I never did when I originally played the game, it's actually kind of fun. And what she wants you to do is break up the Rockwell's marriage. And the way that you do this is up to you. Again, you can either pass speech check, or you can do something that I think is way more interesting. So if you ask around in town and talk to the husband and the wife, you find out that the husband had an affair with one of the neighbors, Miss Simpson. And Miss Simpson's kind of bad, to be honest. But if you go to Miss Simpson's house and you go upstairs, you find this really sexy pair of lingerie. You can take that lingerie and put it in the table on the basement of the Rockwell's house. Let me tell you, this is some of the funniest replies that you can give in this game. Let me read them to you. All right, so these are some of the speech options. When she finds it, she says, "What the hell is this?" And you can either say, "It looks like Roger is a fan of women's clothing," or "It's not yours, oops." And then she also says, "What is it doing here?" And you can say, "I guess he's cheating on you," or maybe it's his for him to wear when no one's around. Like, dude, whoever put these in the game, like, you're literally like breaking up this marriage, and the only options that like you can say are like either brutal or like freaking hilarious. So anyways, like once you tell her this, she like just takes off running, dude. She like runs down the street into the neighbor's house and then just like stands in there and just doesn't do anything. And then like if you go back to their house, the husband is doing what anyone would do in this situation, which is like literally like just sleeping and just like running away from your problems. So after you do this, you go back to Betty, and of course she has something else for you to do. She wants you to kill somebody. So it went from like beating up a kid to breaking up a marriage to like straight up murder. Well, she wants you to kill Miss Henderson. You go over to her house and like rig this chandelier to like fall on top of her. Oh, I feel kind of bad about that actually. You okay, Miss Henderson? Yeah, nah, she's fine. She's just sleeping. Just don't wake her up. And I did this like 5 different times. Like one because it was hilarious, but also just because I wanted to get like some different angles of it happening. You go back to Betty, and then still she wants you to do one more thing. She wants you to dress up as the pint-sized killer and basically kill everybody. And it's like, it's pretty fun actually. After you kill the entire town, except for Timmy, because you don't kill kids in this game, you go back to Betty, and then she's like, she tells you, whatever information that you needed about your dad, and like a door appears so you can leave. I would say like the only good ending in this vault would probably be the Chinese invasion, because Dr. Braun like gets trapped there and can't leave. And then he cries about it, which is insane. If you like this video, I'd love for you to comment, like, and subscribe. It took way longer than I thought it would. I do all of this stuff by myself, and I would love to do it more often or even make it a job. So definitely let me know if you liked the video. And if you did, maybe I'll think about doing another one in the future of some more vaults throughout some of the Fallout games.